And we'll run our own blue sun. Mirror match. Okay, so this is a pretty good opener. That's what I like to see. We're going to keep this. It gives us early economy. So he's doing what we should have done. Should have mulliganed. So we basically get to start by drawing an extra card, rezzing Amazon, playing guard and rezzing it, going to 0 credits. And I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. That we want to play that card on HQ. So next turn we'll just be taking credit. We'll do an Amazon loop, picking up this guard, replaying it, effectively netting 3 credits. We'll take another credit, and then we'll play the hive down. So we're basically hoping he doesn't have Mimic here. If he has it naturally, he's in pretty strong position. If he has to go get it with special order, we're actually kind of okay. The tempo hit is non-trivial. Okay, all as expected. Oh, see, that's what we should have been mulliganing for. So we're going to switch ice here, since he showed us the fairy. We're going to take a credit. I'm going to put this down here. So what we're actually doing is bluffing an enigma. He may not take it, in which case, fine, we'll live with him not believing it's really an enigma. And then let's see here. We are basically looking for another piece of small ice to get onto archives and turn off his major economy. So we'll let him get his money, his data sucker token. See if he's willing to run a potential enigma this early. If I were him, I would. I mean, enigma's annoying, but it's certainly not the end of the world. And sometimes you just top deck like nobody's business. So you might as well take it. He could top deck again. So you'll notice that, like that, you'll notice that I'm not running Ice Wall and he was. So I think Ice Wall is a pretty good card overall in Blue Sun, but I actually want all of my ice to be able to run an Amazon Industrial Zone loop with. So I have no ice that costs less than 3. Okay, so that's almost a perfect draw. So we'll create ourselves a new server. So against Criminal, you often want to do this in a remote. Breach is hyper efficient against Curtain Wall. It costs 6 credits to break the whole thing. So you don't really want to throw your Oversight AI Curtain Walls on central servers. Now, there's a good chance that we'll pick this up and put it on archives, depending on what we draw in terms of ice next, because oh, okay, he put on this remote. I guess he may be, I'm not sure what he's doing. Um, so he put his security testing on this remote instead of on archives, ah, which is just bad. So it looks like he's going to move it over to archives, which totally fine. I don't mind. Which is where it should have gone. We're going to move this over there just to turn off security testing, Masanori loops. That kind of stuff is ridiculous. And there's actually a good chance that after that we end up trying to purge. Yep, there is the breach. So we definitely played that one right. This is a little bit aggressive. He's going to have to pay 4 to get in. Get one back. I'm not sure how worth it is, especially considering he top decked early agendas. So we're 11 cards into the deck. There are actually just not that many agendas left. Just straight up aren't. I guess he wants to kill this Amazon, which this is not a bad play on his part. Um, he doesn't know we're holding a second one, so I think that we're definitely picking up this curtain wall. Let's see what our turn looks like here. Let's okay. So we're gonna go put this hive over here. I'm gonna take 2 credits. So next turn, I think we're gonna start an Amazon loop on our remote. There's not a whole lot that he'll be able to do about it. Yeah, let's do it. So Breach would make this a bad play on a central, but because we now have our ice up, it's actually pretty good. I'm pretty comfortable letting him have another hit on R&D here and not letting him have the money. It's certainly less than ideal, but it is something I'm prepared to live with. Or he can pay his way through, I guess. Sure. I think he just paid a credit for a card. Let's see. Data Sucker neutral, pays 4, gains 3. Yeah. Which I guess is not terrible. But he could have just... I guess he doesn't want the tag. I guess that's fair. So what we're really looking here is some toll booths. There are 3 in the deck. It's one of the other reasons I don't run snare is I think toll booth's insane and you should be running as many of them as possible in Blue Sun. Okay, I don't know what he's doing.
Login rejected.
He wanted the tag, I guess. Seems odd. Oh, I guess he didn't mean to run, or he keeps forgetting that breach is centrals only, maybe. Who knows? So we're only down 3 points at the moment, so I'm actually feeling pretty good. Uh, let's see what. Oh, excellent. So what we're setting up for here, is next turn I want to purge. Purging makes his breach runs against Hive significantly less efficient, and I think I'll be in a pretty good place once that happens. Yeah, so once that's done, we'll go back to our Amazon loop and see how long we get to run it. Being down only 3 points is really strong here. We have one of the Scorches in hand. He hasn't played a Plascrete yet. There's no real way of knowing for sure whether he's running it or not, though it's often a good thing to run. And what we're doing here is working to turn. Okay, so this is an interesting choice. I guess he wants the. Well, I guess I'm waiting for him to pay for his breach. He started with 6, had to pay 4 to get in, gained 1 back, so should be at 3. Goes up to 13. Yeah, okay. So this is not a bad play on his part. He's probably going to get the hostile takeover here, and I'm fine with that. In fact, I'd rather keep the Jackson Howard. So because this has happened, we're gonna run another Amazon loop so that we can protect R&D. So being able to make this kind of play is one of the things that makes Blue Sun really good against. Oh, thank you for the link. I'll have to check that out after. Yeah, I mean, so this is pretty aggressive of him. I mean, again, I'm pretty fine with it. I'll play back the turn basically, and he'll be down resources. So, I mean, part of the reason I'm okay with this is, did you? Oh, I guess he did pay for it. Part of the reason I'm okay with this is that he's basically not really getting resources out of this, except for maybe the card off of Masanori. And holding on to his tags seems insane here. I guess he still has a chance to remove them. But, oh, sometimes you get the lucky top decks too. But one of the... Let's just run this again. And I'm actually going to drop this Jackson Howard in the server because next turn I do want to purge. But yeah, losing the hostile takeover wasn't that huge of a hit there. There's only one archer in the deck, though, you know, making him respected is important. But once he has Fairy on the table, he can kind of run to make me pop it. And what we're going to see here is whether he's willing to pop Fairy for this or not. Now, I think it's probably a bad play to do so. He's seen a lot of points, and we are not that deep into the deck yet. We're about a third of the way through. He's seen 5 points. I guess it's probably roughly even. And yeah, Archer is a super sweet card, but it's actually pretty situational, I've found. Um, okay. Yeah, I do agree Archer's a sweet card, but I find that a lot of times you'll have like the one that you can res has already been resed. You can't afford, so he's probably going to go get Mimic here. Um, let's see. Corroder. Interesting. Oh, that's super interesting. Sure, I'll let him in. So we're at strength 8, so he's probably just going to spend all his money here. Um, but yeah, a lot of times I find that I can't res the second archer, and I'll have it in my hand and wish it were some ice that like did something on that particular turn. So he's left himself with 5 credits. Sure. I'm perfectly glad to let him trash everything here. Especially as I have another one in my hand. So next turn we get to pick up this curtain wall, um, take hedge fund money and replay it. And because we're not running an Amazon loop, we won't have any credits invested in it. Um, Actually, we'll probably play the Hadrians in its place. We'd rather have the curtain wall on the outside anyway, and curtain wall Hadrians is kind of insane against anybody playing a fair deck or not battering ram. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Wayland decks I run 2 archers in. I just ended up going down to 1 here because I wanted to play around with Wendigo and with Taurus as my other like sometimes you'll be able to res the mice, and I've liked both of them pretty well. I could totally see swapping out Taurus for a second archer. That card is again really good, but because it's so good, people expect it. And running a one of often means that I'm not stuck with the downside of them being prepared for it, and I get all the upside. But I mean, like you say, you hit with an archer, and that's just insane. So I guess for us the real question is, what does he have left in terms of tricks? He hasn't really had to go that deep into his deck yet. And he's gotten pretty... Oh, interesting. Okay. So we're definitely going to play this hedge fund. And then... Okay, he's at 4 credits. And he has... I think that we're actually safe to just re-oversight this. Now, in a lot of cases, I would actually take the extra turn to put the Hadrians in front of it, but unless he stem hacks, I don't believe there's a way that he gets credits. Let's see, he can click twice, go to 10, and that's still insufficient. So I'm actually pretty comfortable just running this turn like this. I don't think he has the credits without a stem hack to blow up this curtain wall. Now, he might have the stem hack and he might be willing to spend it. We'll see. But if he's not, then we get a nice free boost of money, and it looks like that's what he's going to give us. So we've largely turned off his early game advantage. So next turn we will we'll definitely pick up this curtain wall. We'll probably drop Hadrian's with curtain wall in front of it and put the Jackson behind it. And from there, we are just going to start looking for some agendas. Huh. I'm not worried about playing this for money yet, so let's put down this Hadrian's. Let's put down this curtain wall. Yeah, that's definitely true. Them already getting to 5 agenda points early off of the early aggression is super rough for us. What really is killing us is the turn 1 or turn 2 hostile into Project Atlas on top of the deck. I think that was turn 1. I mean, there's not really much you can do about plays like that. You have to protect against the early account siphon. You don't have all the ice you want. And sometimes the variance of the game, you just lose to it. I mean, if that hadn't happened, let's say he just pulled the hostile, he'd be at 3, or if he just pulled the Atlas at 4, we'd still be in plenty good shape. So what we want to do here, oh, there's that Plascrete. So what we want to do here is draw some cards. We're looking to put together, we are looking to put together some combo kill here. So what we're going to do... Yeah, the deck has 3 hives, 3 enigmas, and 2 guards. So there's a set of cheap in the runs. Yeah, so I just haven't seen the enigmas. I've only seen 1 guard this game. So usually I'm pretty well defended by turn 2. So it really takes a turn 1 lucky pull like that. And I don't think it's worth trying to build a deck that is super resistant to that kind of variance. So let's see, we're going to take this hedge fund, and then we're going to discard this posted bounty. Do we want to discard posted bounty? Maybe not. Let's see. Let's get rid of this hive. We won't need a second hive. And really want to keep Shattered Main, so I guess we're going to dump posted bounty. Yeah, I mean Enigma would be great in this situation. Guard's actually really good until and unless he gets a Mimic out. Excuse me. So yeah, next turn I think what we're going to be doing is we're just going to pop Jackson, put Pop Jackson after draw. We don't want to draw this posted bounty again, or really any of the other stuff we're going to get back. And we're going to install and double advance. Ooh, I guess we got a couple of options here. But I think we're going to install double advance this Project Atlas. Our alternative is to install advance once and put another Hadrian's out here, which makes us a little bit more resistant to inside job. And I don't really object to doing that either. We'll see. I may end up doing that instead. What I'd really like to do is pick up another good piece of ice, like Enigma or Guard, to throw out there instead of the Hadrians. So he just dumped 2 special orders, which seems pretty aggressive. I'm not sure what he's digging for. Oh, perfect. So we will now pop Jackson. We would like to get our Jackson Howard back, our posted bounty back, and I think it's worth us getting... we're looking for super bursty economy, so let's get our oversight back. So let's do this. So we've made our curtain wall significantly worse. Which I'm not super thrilled about, but it's still basically as good as a Hadrian's here. And because we're Blue Sun, we can always pick it up if we need to. And replace it with an actual Hadrian's. But we really wanted to make sure his inside job's turned off. And this is actually another reason why this is such a good piece of ice for this location. Is his probe is actually going to make it really hard for him to get anything done this turn. So he gets to take the tag. We'll see what he does with the rest of the turn. Removes the tag. And he takes a credit. So he's basically down a credit that turn. That whole turn lost him a credit. So what I want to do here is... I actually, let's see, he's got 2 of my hostile takeovers. I'm going to... Yeah, exactly. The Enigma here was really good for us. So I think that we're actually still in good shape here. I'm going to take a risk and take an extra turn on this Atlas. I'm going to take a credit and advance it. No, I'm just going to advance it 3 times and leave it on the table. Right? That'll still... Oh, we need... Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we may put a second counter on it next turn. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. He's down a credit, so he's actually in the same position he was last turn, only worse, except that he knows about the Enigma. But I don't think there's any way he gets in here even with a stem hack, because he can't place a stem hack in inside job. He still would need a Yogg. The stem hack wouldn't get him through both. I think we're in great shape here. And what that lets us do is go up to a 2 counter Atlas, or maybe even a 3 counter Atlas. And, you know, I'll take that basically any day of the week, especially in the current position. Yeah, look, I could draw into a major card, and despite kind of where he is on points, this is why I really like having Scorch in the deck. 2 or 3 counter Atlas basically means I can pull up the whole combo on demand, and then I get to just, I can kill him through this Plascrete with like a mid-season. So probably what we're looking to do is here is actually get this up to 3 counters, see what we draw, and go get our posted bounty. We'll let him know. He'll see the posted bounty picked up. We'll triple advance it, and then we can triple scorch him unless he gets a second Plascrete onto the table. We could also go get Taurus or something like that. We'll just see how we are feeling. So the big disadvantage here is that this is going to turn his breaches on in a real way. Ugh, that's kind of terrible. So I think that what we have to do here, let's see, one legwork down, just the one legwork down. So he's almost certainly holding a legwork and scoring here. So I think we actually have to take this, advance it once, take the 2 counters, drop Jackson, and then overdraw to get these priority Rex out of my hand. So normally I'd really like to hold on to the Prio Rex as they're, you know, but scoring this Atlas has made his breach much better against my HQ, and I cannot afford him to steal one of them. So the other thing we're going to be doing here is watching his credits. If he goes up to 7 credits, we're immediately popping Jackson, so he can't install a Hades Shard. Because Hades Shard would let him access my archives before I can do anything. I could have advanced twice and gotten an Enigma. There's definitely a risk there that he gets Yogg or gets 2 Yogg pretty quickly. I mean, I don't really like it because I feel like I'm in a pretty strong position to just score one of them. I would have loved to hold on to it, but the risk isn't really worth it. And I also feel like I've got a certain amount of inevitability here. He's discarded all of his special orders, so he's digging for his one of Yogg probably. He's probably got a passport or something in hand, but can't get the Yogg to get through this Enigma. Where is he? Okay, so we are definitely popping this for a priority requisition, and let's get this hedge fund. So let's see, he makes 3, 4, 5. I guess he comes out with a profit here, not a huge one, but there's definitely one there. And he's down to 1 account siphon in the deck. So I'm feeling pretty good right now. So he's at 11 credits, which is still not enough to be about this server. So what we really want here is an agenda. And we might even go get one. I think we're going to draw. We're going to install in the server, see what he does. And I think I would like to do this. So we don't really want to res this card, but we do prefer that to getting account siphoned, pretty much. It's a toll booth, so R&D's in extremely good shape right now until he gets something on the table to deal with it. So our current plan is we're going to take hedge fund money and advance twice. Oh, there's the mid-season. So we are hoping... We're basically hoping to bait him into spending whatever tricks he's got right now. Also killing his Plascrete. Killing his Plascrete wins us the game. It's fine if he doesn't do that. We'll actually pick this up go get an agenda? Okay. No. We're going to pick this up so he knows that we have it. We're going to install one face down. Hedge fund, credit. So we're looking to draw into either Posted Bounty or Scorched Earth before he gets another point. Once we do that, we're going to go get the other one, or if we don't draw the Posted Bounty, we're going to go get it. He'll know that's what it is. We're going to install and double advance it. Then we'll take it to a triple advance. He'll have to go to 3 Plascretes or die. He's 2/3 of the way through his deck, so there's a good chance that if there is a second one in his deck, he's drawn it. I'm pretty comfortable. Let's see if we can replay this turn. He's got a lot more resources now, so there's a decent chance that he makes it in. And again, we're pretty much okay with that as an outcome. Nope, not willing to do it. I'm okay with that. And then we'll take 2 credits. And I don't think we're going to play this Wendigo. So again, we probably start power drawing next turn. What we're looking for is a the last posted bounty or a second scorch. If either of those hit our hand, we're just going to install and start advancing. We'll go to 3 on this. Excuse me. We'll go to 3 counters and aim for a triple scorch through his Plascrete. So he's got Passport out and R&D interface, so this is something of a glory run for him. Passport's actually not bad here for him, though he is going to have to spend his ferry to get in. And again, I'm pretty much fine with that. So if he hits if he hits the last hostile or the last posted bounty and doesn't win, he dies. And if he does, sometimes that's what happens. So let's see what we see. Oh, Enigma, huh? I think we're just going to draw up. Get our posted bounty. So we want to just put a bunch of cards back into the deck that are going to make his life more difficult if he runs in. So we put all our hedge funds back. Then we're going to, let's see, post a bounty. And So here's the tough choice. We can add additional defense to R&D with a second toll booth, or we can I think we actually have to have the money to res both of these ice. So we're going to let him have this free run on R&D. It's definitely a big risk on our part. So I'm just going to take a credit with this last click. We're going to dump a Shattered Remains and an Enigma and this Hadrian's Wall. And end the turn. If he lets us get to the next turn, we're going to pick up this Archives Ice for 5 credits and triple advance. It is containing a lot of agendas. It's the reason we put 3 hedge funds back in the deck. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agendas left in the deck in 18 cards, but one of them is a 1-pointer, which we're pretty much okay with, and this gives us actually a decent chance at just flat out winning. So we're going to pick this up, start our turn, and now there's one less agenda in the deck. So we don't want this hive anymore, and I think we're done with this curtain wall. So he can get a glory run into R&D. There are 4 agendas left in 17 cards, so there is a chance that he gets in and steals what he needs. There's only agendas that will win him the game left in the deck. But if he doesn't, then we get to score this and triple scorch him, which is just awesome. Sure, he can have the money. We are not really worried about him having money here. He has to get 2 points this turn, and I guess he knows it. So it looks like he's going to make the run on R&D. Oh no, okay. Sweet. This is pretty much what we're going for. So it's possible that we miscounted credits here, which would also be disastrous for us. If he ends up out of range of a midseason after this, we just lose the game. I think, though, that we will be fine. Yeah, we've got him. Even more fine with this hedge fund. So he didn't have to spend his... Right, so there's no point in us holding back. So what we want to do is make sure that we land at least 5 tags. So he goes to 19, so we need to... well, we'll see. So we have to spend all of our money here. I'm not sure that this is correct, but we do need him to land the tags, and we can always pick up Hadrian's for the triple scorch. So again, we're leaving him with exactly one turn. Um, 25%. So he basically has about a 35% chance of winning off of R&D next turn, as that's roughly what the chances of there being an agenda in the top two cards are. If he doesn't, that's game. So we are basically, taking a bit of a gamble here. I don't think there was any way we could get the toll booth down on R&D and still land enough tags. That would have been my preferred play. Sure, we'll let him go get some more money. He doesn't need it, so I think this is actually probably a mistake on his part. He probably really just wanted to hit R&D and then legwork HQ. Sure. I don't have any money. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he meant to play a legwork? Okay. Dodged that bullet. Oh, he's going to shut down me here, which is fine. I knew he could get in anyway, so I don't think this is actually a particularly strong play for him. Actually, his best play right now is to shut down Hadrian's wall if he has an emergency shutdown in hand. Then I will not be able to triple scorch him. Even if I pick up a toll booth, I'll have to take another turn off. It'll give him a second shot at R&D. Yeah, so this is actually a huge play mistake on his part, not recognizing where the money is. I mean, he was able to get in anyway. He has so many credits that he's basically just losing himself access to an additional card. Now, if the top card happens to be, or actually maybe not, he may not have another way in through this card. So let's see. Well, well, well. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. He had gone too low on cards to play the shutdown, so I only needed enough credits to play the two scorches. So yeah, that. Okay, so it looks like he didn't realize that I was going to triple scorch him. He thought he could just. Yeah, so yeah, so looking at the cards, I think that for him to, let's see, he was at 2 cards there at the end in hand, so he could have. That means that he started at 4 for the turn. Let me check the logs. That's actually a pretty good question. Da, 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 da. Okay. Uh, Before that. So he only started with 3 cards actually. Um, after I landed that, after I landed the midseason. So that means that. Oh, he drew off the Masson Ori. So let's see. He started at 3, could have run R&D, gone to 4, then could have run HQ naturally, drawn and shut down the Hadrians. So he definitely could have survived there if he, at least for one more turn. Yeah, I was actually worried from the beginning too that he had gotten too far ahead. But the fact that he wasn't able to get anything going in the mid game once I had all 3 servers iced with Hive Guard Hive, just let me build up to kind of an insurmountable position, which is the reason I really like Blue Sun, is that if you can get out of the early game, your late game is incredibly powerful. And it's also, you can see from this game, this is the reason that I like to keep Scorch in the deck. I think you can play Blue Sun without it, but there are games like this one that are pretty much literally unwinnable without it. If he had, if I had had to score another 5 points on actual agendas, there's no way I would have been able to do it before he could score the last 1 point out of R&D. So yeah, there we go. That's Blue Sun. It was a very tense game. I'm probably gonna pull it into a highlight. Um, I don't think he made any huge mistakes, so I do think he spent his account siphons a bit early. Um, they're kind of a timing specific resource. So he got the I think the first one was well spent. He was able to kind of keep me off balance in the early game. The second one I think was pretty aggressive. If I remember, it came down on the sixth when I only had 4 credits, and he paid like to breach through this hive to use it. So I think that that was probably a mistake on his part. We definitely got a little bit lucky here at the end with our agenda placement, that they were where they were and not higher up or anything like that. Um, but not super lucky. It's not like we had 3 agendas and 6 cards. So